Yeah, so a bunch of us who make our living on selling these pre-construction condos are looking around like, is everybody okay?
Yeah, like what are they thinking?
You sure you
What's
want
everybody?
you want to buy one? You sent me
All
back your
right,
worksheet in like 5 minutes. What's going
Yeah.
on?
I'll
Yeah.
take your money,
So
but like I'm
explain that.
warning
Sorry,
you.
there's been a few launches. So when you say they're busy, so they're selling, they're like the worksheets
Oversubscribing.
oversubscribing. Okay, so it's like
Oversubscribing.
no issues
Lineups.
whatsoever. Everybody's lining up again to be able to make it work.
And
Yes
the
and no. Like it's
prices.
very area and price point, and particularly entry price point dependent.
Why? What didn't
Okay.
do good lately?
Anything launching downtown is not doing well.
Not doing well.
Oh,
So what launched
interesting.
downtown that didn't do well?
I'm not going to say names, but
Okay.
there's been a few core launches,
Really?
and people just aren't interested. But you
Like
launch
within
something
the
in the
last-
905s around that 1,000 a foot mark, and
Really?
That's
you're
what it
gonna have a
is.
lineup.
Because don't you have to launch at like 2,000 a square foot now? Isn't that like
Where's
downtown core? Like,
1,000
what
a
do you have to
square
launch at?
foot? What's 1,000 a square foot? Who's doing that right now?
You've got Mattamy in Oakville doing that.
Oh,
1,100 a
that's not
foot,
fair.
parking included. You have North Shore and Aldershot at 1,100 a foot. You've got something coming
That's
in.
the Burlington thing?
Yeah.
I did a calculation. I came up with like 1,300 a foot.
Yeah, no, there were units under 11. And then
Under
you have
11.
and then you have one coming in Hamilton from Slate that's really aggressively priced as well that I'm sure will blow out.
Really? Hamilton.
Yeah, but that's where you got to go. You want 1,000 a
That's where you
foot?
gotta
That's where you got to
go.
go.
But
1,000
is that right though?
in
Like downtown,
Hamilton.
obviously the price per square foot because it's very futuristic. Because like you're looking at way longer time frame, I'm sure, to build, and so everyone's
Yeah.
projecting, of course, a certain amount of appreciation. So
Well,
you'd
it's also like COVID really screwed up price premiums in rents, right? So like, I'm seeing some one bedrooms in around 600, high 500 square foot range lease in a newly completed building in downtown Hamilton at 2,200 a month. So I can lease a 600 square foot one bedroom in Humber Bay, Etobicoke, for 2,400, or I can do it in Hamilton for 2,200. So I'm only saving $200 a month. But if I want to buy the same unit on the pre-construction market, I'm going to pay $250,000 more in Humber Bay.
Yeah.
So a lot of investors are just looking at that going, well, okay, so I'm saving $250K, which is what, $1,200 a month in debt service. But my
Giving
rent is
up
only
$200
$200 lower. So I'm $1,000 net better investing in Hamilton.
Are
it's
maintenance fees the same in Hamilton as they are in Toronto?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, it makes
Probably
sense.
taxes
It should
higher,
be.
but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the long and short of it. Is it makes
1,000.
sense for investors to be buying. So those sales centers that are people lining up for right now, it's a good investment compared to what other options they've got. Right.
Yeah. If they're
is.
they're seeking a better monthly I mean there's no cash flow. So if they're seeking a better
Less
monthly
risk.
just outlook,
less risk.
yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially if you believe that rent premium is gone for good, right? If you believe that, fast forward 10 years and the picture's relatively similar, then yeah, Hamilton makes a whole lot of sense.
These are the things I've been thinking about lately is we've had so much inflation. And again, not an inflation expert, but like, I don't think it goes back down. I think wherever we're at right now, it's just like, this is what it is. And we need to all be just getting used to the new price and cost of everything, right? Including housing, rent, all those things, right? And so
yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think life got more expensive permanently. I think people wishing for something else. It's optimistic thinking.
How's it gonna? It's gonna get worse. Like the only way to keep plugging $1 trillion holes is with trillions of dollars, right? Like you can't do it with millions now. So any like monetary response answer is like in the hundreds of billions at a minimum, right? I think, like, aren't we talking trillions nowadays all over the place? So like, how do costs come down in that environment? I just don't see it.
Nobody's going to just start selling their stuff cheaper. No company is going to be like, okay, fine.
The numbers will start getting
$5.99 instead of $6.99 that we were charging you before. It's not going to happen. Life is more expensive. The dollar's worth less.
We feel good today. We're going to charge you like 2008 prices today because we're nice. We don't like profits anymore. Like, let's get real. So, okay. So hold on. So nothing changes. Everything stays the same, but it's not like everything's getting crazier, right? Like How is it possible that in this environment people are lining up to buy the most expensive product and the biggest decision in their life right now without even thinking about it, really? Like, you can't line up for 2 hours waiting for this thing and not have time to reflect on if it's a good idea.
Speculation is baked into Canadians' blood at this point.
Like, you're
Right?
born
Like
a
blaming it
speculator.
on realtors in the email blast that they sent out is ridiculous, because we were doing the same thing 6 months ago and nobody was calling us.
Right.
So sentiment is an animal that cannot be controlled for. And in Toronto and in the GTA specifically, it is a fickle beast. It is very forward looking. You don't need rate cuts to get it all stimmed up. It's like the cocaine bear, man. All you need is rates not to go up.
Right. Like,
And
the minute
like
they
green
even
light.
Yeah, as soon as they said we're like gonna maybe pause, everybody was like, the doors were breaking down already, right? Like, people were, I said it so many times. I felt like people were just waiting for somebody to say, like, okay,
You're good to go.
Go. Right.
And where
like,
will rates be when those are built? Right. So everyone right now, based on what I'm hearing and seeing, is that nobody feels like rates are going to go up much further, and everyone feels like rates will have to go back down in the future. So when those places are built, maybe they'll be getting a 2 or 3% interest rate again.